Your mind is the foundation of everything you do, everything you achieve, and everything you believe about yourself. It's the control center of your life. The thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the way you see the world determine how far you will go. If you believe you are capable, you will act accordingly. If you believe others are better than you will hesitate, shrink, and settle for less than you deserve. It all starts with the mind. Think about it. Every person who has ever achieved greatness started with nothing but a belief. Before they had success, before they had skills, before anyone recognized them, they had to first see themselves as someone who was worthy of winning. The problem is, most people never take control of this first step. They let the world, their past, or their fears dictate their mindset. They hear someone tell them they're not good enough and they accept it as truth. They experience failure once and assume they're destined to fail forever. But let me tell you something. Your past does not define your future. The only thing that defines your future is your mindset, your ability to take control of your thoughts. Redirect your focus and decide that you are in charge of your life. This is why two people can be given the same opportunities, the same challenges, and the same obstacles. Yet one will rise while the other will fall. The difference isn't in their abilities, it's in their mindset. Imagine someone who walks into a room believing they are unstoppable. They speak with confidence, move with certainty, and radiate energy that draws people in. Now imagine someone who walks into the same room doubting themselves, they hesitate before speaking, avoid eye contact, and shrink into the background. The difference between these two people isn't talent, intelligence, or luck. It's mindset. One person has chosen to believe in themselves while the other has let their doubts control them. The truth is, confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you train. It's something you build moment by moment by choosing to act as if you are already the best. You don't wait until you feel ready. You don't wait for validation. You step into the role of the best version of yourself and let your mind catch up. There is a concept in psychology called confirmation bias. It means that whatever you believe, your brain will find evidence to support it. If you believe you are not good enough, you will notice every mistake, every flaw, and every time someone outperforms you. But if you believe you are capable, your brain will focus on your strengths, your wins, and your progress. You will start seeing yourself as powerful, and that belief will transform your actions. Some of the most successful people in the world started out with nothing. They had no proof they would succeed. They had no reason to believe they were special, except for the fact that they chose to believe it anyway. They trained their minds to think like champions. They acted as if they were already at the top even when no one else saw it, and eventually reality caught up with their mindset. If you look at any top performer in any field, sports, business, entertainment, leadership, you will see the same pattern. They refuse to see themselves as less than anyone else. They don't allow doubt to dictate their act. They condition their minds to expect greatness. They see themselves winning before the victory happens. They visualize success so clearly that failure becomes impossible in their minds. Now, here's the key. You have the same ability to condition your mind. You have the power to decide right now that you will start thinking like a champion. It doesn't matter where you are starting from. It doesn't matter what setbacks you've faced. What matters is the decision you make today about how you will see yourself. If you want to take control of your life, you must first take control of your thoughts. You must become aware of the negative beliefs that hold you back and replace them with new, empowering ones. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, stop and ask, who told me that? Where did that belief come from? Is it actually true? You will realize that most of the negative things you believe about yourself were never your own thoughts to begin with. They were given to you by someone else, by society, by past experiences, by fear. If they were given to you, that means you have the power to let them go. The next time you feel doubt creeping in, do something different. Instead of giving in, take a deep breath, stand tall, and say to yourself, I am the best. No one is better than me. Say it with conviction. Say it like you mean it. Because the more you tell yourself this, the more your brain will start to believe it. And once your mind believes it, your actions will follow. Your body responds to your thoughts. When you think powerful thoughts, you move with more energy. Your posture changes. Your voice becomes stronger. And when you present yourself this way to the world responds accordingly. People start to take you seriously. Opportunities start appearing. The momentum shifts in your favor. But it all starts with how you think. If you want to change your life, change your mindset. Act as if you are already the best. Train yourself to think like a winner. Expect success. Demand greatness from yourself. Refuse to let negativity take hold in your mind, because the truth is, there is no one better than you, unless you believe otherwise. And once you start believing in yourself, nothing can stop you, and negative thoughts are the chains that hold people back from reaching their full potential. They creep into the mind, sometimes so subtly that they feel like truth. They whisper doubts, magnify fears, and convince you that you're not enough. But the reality is these thoughts are not facts. They are conditioned responses built over time by experiences, failures, and the opinions of others. The good news, just as they were created, they can be rewired. The brain is like a muscle. It strengthens whatever you repeatedly feed it. If you constantly tell yourself you are not good enough, that becomes your reality. If you constantly focus on what could go wrong, you will find evidence to confirm it. But if you start feeding your mind with empowering thoughts, if you start challenging the old negative patterns, your brain will rewire itself to align with that new reality. This isn't just motivational talk. It's science. The brain is adaptable. It changes based on what you consistently focus on. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that negative thoughts define them. They say, I'm just not a confident person. Or, I've always been this way. But that's not true. No one is born doubting themselves. No one enters the world thinking they are not enough. These thoughts were picked up along the way through experiences, through criticism, through fear. And if they were picked up, they can also be let go. The first step to rewiring negative thoughts is understanding that they are not you. They are patterns, habits, conditioning, and habits can be changed. Think about this. If you had a friend who spoke to you the way your negative thoughts do, how long would you keep them around? If someone told you every day that you were going to fail, that you weren't good enough, that others were better than you, would you tolerate it? No. You would cut that person out of your life. Yet when it comes to your own mind, you allow those thoughts to run freely without questioning them. That has to change. You must become the gatekeeper of your mind. You must decide what thoughts are allowed to stay and which ones have no place in your life. The problem is most people never challenge their negative thoughts. They accept them as truth. They hear the voice that says you're not smart enough and they nod in agreement. They experience a failure and immediately think, see, I knew I wasn't good enough. But what if they stopped? What if, instead of accepting these thoughts, they asked, is this actually true? Is there real proof that I am not good enough? Or is this just a belief I've carried for too long? The moment you start questioning your thoughts, you take back control. You stop being a prisoner of your own mind and start becoming the architect of it. Rewiring negative thoughts doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. Doesn't mean ignoring challenges or acting like setbacks don't exist. It means refusing to let those challenges define you. It means training your brain to see solutions instead of problems. Every time a negative thought arises, you have a choice. Believe it and let it control you, or challenge it and replace it with something stronger. Imagine you're about to do something big, step on a stage, go after a promotion, take on a new challenge, and suddenly the negative voice kicks in. You're going to fail. They're going to judge you. You're not ready. What do? Most people freeze. They listen to the voice. They let the fear win. But what if instead you did the opposite? What if the moment that negative thought appeared, you immediately replaced it with, I am prepared. I have everything I need. I am the best at what I do. Even if it feels forced at first, even if your brain resists, you say it anyway. Because the more you do this, the more your mind starts to believe it. This is how champions think. They don't wait for confidence to magically appear. They train it. They practice telling themselves powerful stories until those stories become their reality. They refuse to entertain thoughts that don't serve them. They take control of their mental environment just like they take control of their physical one. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant the right seeds, weeds will grow automatically. You don't have to do anything for negativity to take over. Just leave your mind unchecked and it will happen on its own. But if you actively plant positive, empowering thoughts, if you water them every day by focusing on what you can do instead of what you can't, if you refuse to let weeds take root, your mind will start working for you instead of against you. Some people say, but I can't help my negative thoughts. That's not true. You may not be able to stop them from appearing, but you can control whether or not you believe them. A thought is just a thought until you give it power. You are the one who decides which thoughts to feed and which ones to starve. Think about the most confident person you know. Do you think they never have doubts? Of course they do. The difference is they don't let those doubts dictate their actions. They hear the voice of fear, but they don't give it authority. They override it with stronger, more powerful beliefs. So how do you start rewiring your thoughts? First, become aware of them. Pay attention to the moments when you doubt yourself, when fear creeps in, when you start talking yourself out of something. Catch those moments. Recognize that they are just old programming, not truth. Then, actively replace them. If your mind says, I can't do this, immediately counter it with, I can and I will. If it says, I'm not good enough, replace it with, I am more than enough. Say it out loud if you have to. Your brain needs to hear it. It may feel unnatural at first. It's normal. You've spent years believing the old story. Changing it takes effort. But with consistency, the new thoughts will start to feel real. Your brain will start adapting to this new way of thinking. And soon, instead of defaulting to doubt, you will default to confidence. Instead of seeing obstacles, you will see opportunities. Instead of holding yourself back, you will push forward. The world doesn't decide who succeeds and who doesn't, you do. And that decision starts in your mind. If you want to become the best, if you want to act as if no one is better than you, you must start by rewiring the way you think. You must train your mind to work for you, not against you. It won't happen overnight, but every time you catch a negative thought and replace it with something stronger, you are taking one step closer to mastering your mindset. And when you master your mindset, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. Your mind and body are connected in ways most people never fully understand. The way you move, the way you breathe, the way you carry yourself, these things don't just reflect your emotions, they shape them. Your physiology is the foundation of your psychology. If you feel powerful, you will move powerfully. But here's the secret: if you move powerfully, you will start to feel powerful. Your body can trick your mind into confidence, strength, and energy, and the fastest way to shift your emotions is to shift your physical state. How do they walk? How do they stand? How do they breathe? Their posture is upright. Their shoulders are back. Their chest is open. They move with certainty. Now, picture someone who is struggling with doubt and insecurity. Their head is down. Their shoulders are slumped. Their breathing is shallow. Their body is literally reinforcing their negative emotions. They aren't just feeling defeated. They are physically embodying and when you allow your body to settle into that weak posture, your mind follows. But the opposite is also true. When you change your body, you change your state. If you stand tall, take deep breaths, and move with certainty, your brain has no choice but to respond. This isn't just motivation, it's science. Your nervous system reacts to your body's cues. When you breathe deeply and stretch yourself out, your brain gets the signal that you are in control. When you force yourself to smile, even if you don't feel like it, your body releases chemicals that actually make you feel happier. The way you use your body is the fastest way to change your mindset, and yet most people never take advantage of it. When you're feeling tired or unmotivated, what do? Most people slump in their chair, sigh, and tell themselves they need a break. But what if, instead of collapsing into exhaustion, you did the opposite? What if you jumped up, stretched your arms out, took a deep breath, and moved as if you were full of energy? Your body would respond instantly. Your heart rate would increase. your blood would flow, and suddenly you'd feel more alive. That's because energy isn't something you wait for, it's something you generate. And the easiest way to generate it is through movement. Look at the best athletes, the best performers, the best speakers in the world. Before they step into their moment of greatness, they don't sit quietly and hope for confidence to arrive. They use their body. They jump up and down, they shake out their arms, they breathe in deep. They understand that their physical state controls their mental state. If they move like a champion, they feel like a champion, and if they feel like a champion, they perform like one. But it's not just about big moments. This applies to every area of your life. If you wake up and drag yourself through your morning, your brain will assume that's how the day is going to go. But if you wake up, stretch your body, take deep, powerful breaths, and move with purpose, your mind will snap into that same energy. Your day will follow your body's lead. The same is true when facing challenges. When stress or fear shows up, your body automatically tightens up. Your breathing gets short, your shoulders raise, your muscles contract. And if you let that continue, your brain will take it as a sign that you are in danger, and your fear will only increase. But if in that moment you force yourself to breathe deeply, to roll your shoulders back, to take up more space instead of shrinking, everything shifts. Your brain receives a new message. You are not weak. You are not afraid. You are in control. And suddenly what felt overwhelming a moment ago now feels manageable. This is why some people crumble under pressure while others thrive. It's not because they don't feel fear. It's because they don't let their body reinforce it. They take control of their physiology first, and in doing so, they take control of their emotions. The greatest leaders, the greatest competitors, the greatest minds all understand this. They don't wait for their emotions to change before taking action. They use their body to create the emotions they need. So if you ever find yourself doubting, hesitating, or sinking into a negative state, don't just sit there and try to think your way out of it. Get up, move, change your posture, breathe differently, stretch your arms up like you just won something huge. Walk as if you own the ground beneath you. Talk louder, smile even if you don't feel like it, because the moment you shift your body, your brain will follow. Your physiology is the key to your psychology. If you move like the best, you will start to think like the best. And when you think like the best, you will start to act like the best. And when you act like the best, you become the best. It all starts with the decision to take control of how you use your body, because the fastest way to change your mind is to change how you move. Doubt is the silent killer of dreams. It creeps in, whispering reasons why you're not ready, why you might fail, why you should wait just a little longer before taking that first step. It convinces you that you need more preparation, more information, more certainty before you can move forward. But here's the truth. Doubt only survives in inaction. The longer you wait, the stronger it grows. The only way to destroy doubt is through massive action, not small, hesitant steps, not endless planning, not waiting until you feel ready, just raw, immediate, unstoppable action. Most people believe that confidence is something you develop before you take action, but that's a lie. Confidence is built through action. You don't wake up one day suddenly feeling like you can conquer the world. You prove it to yourself through experience. Every time you take action despite fear, you chip away at doubt. Every time you push forward, even when you don't feel like it, you build momentum. And momentum is the enemy of fear. Think about a time when you were scared to do something. Maybe it was speaking in front of a group, starting a new job, or trying something completely outside your comfort zone. Before you took action, your mind was probably filled with doubts. But the moment you actually started doing it, something shifted. The fear didn't completely disappear, but it lost its grip on you. The act of moving forward took the power away from doubt and put it back in your hands. It's because action forces your brain to focus on the task instead of the fear. The more action you take, the less space there is for doubt to survive. Most people are stuck in their own heads, overthinking every decision, analyzing every possible outcome, convincing themselves that they need to wait until they feel more certain. But that's not how success works. The people who achieve the most in life aren't necessarily The smartest or the most prepared, they are the ones who take action before they feel ready. They jump in, figure things out as they go, and adjust along the way. They know that doubt only has power over those who hesitate. So they eliminate hesitation. Every second you spend debating whether you should act or not, your fear grows stronger. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take the first step. But when you train yourself to take action immediately, something incredible happens. You stop giving your fear time to take root. Instead of allowing yourself to dwell on what might go wrong, you shift your energy toward making things happen. Action creates clarity. It forces you to engage with reality instead of getting lost in worst-case scenarios. There's a reason why some of the most successful people in the world swear by taking massive, decisive action. They don't sit around waiting for motivation to strike. They don't let doubt dictate their pace. They commit, move forward, and figure things out along the way. They understand that no amount of thinking can replace real-world experience. You can read all the books, watch all the videos, and plan every detail, but until you actually start doing, you're just an observer. The real learning, the real growth, and the real breakthroughs happen through action. This doesn't mean recklessness. It doesn't mean acting without any thought. It means refusing to let overthinking stop you. It means recognizing that perfection is an illusion and that progress is always better than waiting for the perfect moment. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is no magical day when everything aligns and fear disappears. If you wait for that, you'll be waiting forever. The only way to move forward is to take the first step right now. Taking action also builds resilience. When you start moving, you'll realize that failure isn't the end of the world. You'll learn that mistakes are just lessons. Every setback becomes feedback guiding you toward improvement. The more you act, the more you develop an unshakable belief in yourself. You stop seeing failure as something to be feared and start seeing it as part of the process. And when failure no longer scares you, doubt loses its power entirely. The greatest leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, and visionaries all have one thing in common. They don't let doubt paralyze them. They act fast. They move forward even when they don't have all the answers. They understand that progress is messy, that success isn't about getting everything right the first time, but about persistence. They know that the only way to truly fail is to stop moving. If you want to eliminate doubt from your life, you must commit to massive action. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Decide that you will no longer let hesitation control you. The moment an idea or opportunity appears, act on it. Train yourself to move before fear has a chance to set in. Because the more you act, the more you realize that the doubts were never real to begin with. They were just illusions waiting to be shattered by action. No one is above you. No one is inherently better, more deserving, or more capable than you. The people you admire, the ones who've achieved incredible success, the ones who seem untouchable, they are just people. They are not superior. They don't have something you lack. They weren't born with a secret advantage that made them destined for greatness while you were left behind. The only difference between them and you is their belief system. They decided they were worthy. They decided they could achieve more, and because they believed it, they acted on it. The biggest mistake people make is placing others on pedestals while diminishing themselves. They assume the top performers, the high achievers, the ones making an impact, have something special that they don't. But this is an illusion. Every great person started somewhere. Every champion was once a beginner. Every leader once doubted themselves. The ones who made it to the top weren't handed success. They claimed it. They refused to see themselves as less than anyone else, and they took action accordingly. When you walk into a room, whether it's a business meeting, a social event, or an opportunity of a lifetime, how you see yourself determines how others see you. If you act like someone who belongs, people will treat you as such. But if you walk in with the mindset that others are above you, you will shrink, hesitate, and give away your power. And the moment you do that, people pick up on it. They sense your uncertainty. They respond to the energy you project. If you don't believe you are on the same level as the best, neither will they. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got there by waiting for permission? Do you think they spent years doubting whether they deserved success? No. They stepped into their power before anyone else recognized, and they acted as if they belonged at the top, and eventually the world agreed. The truth is, most people don't reach their full potential, not because they lack ability, but because they never truly believe they are worthy of more. The moment you stop seeing others as above you, you take back control of your life. You stop hesitating. You stop second-guessing yourself, and you start moving with purpose. You start treating yourself as someone who is just as capable, just as intelligent, just as deserving as anyone else. And when you do that, everything changes. Opportunities open up. People respond to you differently. You begin to attract success instead of chasing it. The truth is, the people you admire have the same fears, the same doubts, the same moments of insecurity as you do. The difference? They don't let it control them. They push past it. They understand that fear is universal, but action is a choice. They don't wait until they feel ready, and they don't allow self-doubt to hold them back. They know that confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you train. Stop waiting for the world to tell you that you are good enough. Stop seeking validation. Stop assuming that others are more capable than you. No one is above you. No one has the right to tell you what you can or cannot achieve. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. If you refuse to accept them, if you act as if you belong at the top, if you move through life with the belief that no one is better than you, you will start to see doors open where before you only saw walls. It's not about arrogance. It's not about thinking you are better than others. It's about recognizing that no one is inherently better than you. It's about stepping into your own power instead of waiting for someone else to give you permission. It's about moving through life with the confidence of someone who knows they belong at the top. Because the moment you stop playing small, the moment you stop doubting yourself, the moment you start acting like the best, your world will shift. And when that happens, nothing can stop you. Criticism is not a one-time event. It's not something you stumble upon by accident or something that just happens to a lucky few. Greatness is a daily decision, a commitment that must be renewed every single day. It's in the way you wake up, the way you move, the way you approach even the smallest tasks. It's in the mindset you cultivate, the actions you take, and the standards you refuse to lower. If you want to be great, you cannot leave it to chance. You must commit to it relentlessly every day. Most people dream of success, but very few are truly committed to it. There's a difference between wanting something and being committed to it. Wanting is passive. It's hopeful, but it doesn't demand action. Commitment, on the other hand, requires you to show up every single day, regardless of how you feel. It requires discipline when motivation fades. It requires pushing forward even when no one is watching, even when no one is applauding, even when it would be easier to quit. The reason most people never reach greatness is that they treat it like a destination rather than a process. They think they'll wake up one day and suddenly be at the top of their game. But true greatness is built in the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make every single day. It's in the way you handle setbacks, in the way you train your mind and body, in the way you refuse to settle for less than what you know you are capable of. It's not about one big breakthrough. It's about the thousands of moments where you choose discipline over comfort, effort over excuses, progress over perfection. Commitment means deciding that no matter what happens, you will keep moving forward. It means eliminating the option to quit. Too many people give themselves an escape route. They say, I'll try my best, but they leave room for backing out if things get hard. That's not commitment, that's convenience. Commitment means you are all in. It means you will do whatever it takes to get better, to grow, to become the absolute best version of yourself. And the only way to get there is through daily action. Every single day you are either reinforcing the habits that lead to greatness or the habits that lead to mediocrity. There is no in between. If you skip a workout, if you cut corners on a project, if you let excuses win, you are strengthening the habit of being average. But if you push yourself, if you do the extra work, if you refuse to settle, you are building the habit of excellence, and habits are what define your future. The people who rise to the top, the ones who make an impact, who inspire, who change the game, they don't just work hard when they feel like it. They don't just give their best when it's convenient. They make a decision to commit to greatness every single day, no matter what. They train when they don't want to. They push forward when they're exhausted. They show up when it would be easier to stay in bed. That's the difference between success and failure. That's the difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who spend their lives making excuses. Greatness is not something that is handed to you. It's something you earn, and you earn it through the daily grind, through the moments when no one is watching, through the times when you want to quit but choose to keep going. You earn it by refusing to be average, by setting higher standards for yourself, by demanding more from your mind, your body, and your spirit. If you want to be great, you must make that choice every day, not just when you're inspired, not just when things are going well, every single day. Because when you commit to greatness daily, it becomes who you are. It stops being something you chase and starts being something you embody. And once that happens, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can stop you.